Welcome back to Into the Pan with scottpam. Tonight's episode we're going to be cooking chicken sausage flavored Italian style, got from Sam's Club. They have some great deals. It's about 11 or 12 bucks for the huge package. I'm only using half a package. One half of an onion that's been sliced up this way so that I can put it in with the sausage and peppers. And it's going to be sausage and peppers in a tomato sauce with some garlic over some penne. And I might melt some mozzarella over it. I'm not sure about that. And we're going to be making the pasta in this bialetti. If you guys haven't seen this, this is probably the best invention I ever found at Home Goods. And it's got a whole lid with holes in it. So, and by the way, if you're ever going to cook pasta, you boil it up. And all I have to do in this is pour it away from me into the sink. My pasta drains and I can mix things into this. Again, it is non-stick, so don't use any steel or metal. You want to use a non-stick utensil in here. Wood is good too for that. Then towards the end, what I'm going to do to finish up the sausages with the peppers, that's going to be going in to a large pan like this. And what that will do is that'll let me blend all the flavors together with some high heat. So I'm going to get cooking on this and I'll take you into that in just a moment. So tonight's episode we're going to be using peppers, sausages, onions, garlic, a chunk of a bottle of, well, a part of a bottle of chunky tomato and herb. That's here, and yeah, I'm looking into the camera over there. Gluten-free penne, some olive oil, and I have extra because I think that's pretty much towards the end. The first thing I'm going to be doing right now is heating up the grill here, and that goes up to 325. If you don't have one of these Cuisinart grills, they're just absolutely phenomenal. And I'm going to grease it up a little bit. So you got to press the check mark, drop the temperature. I think 325 would be good on both sides because I'm going to grill them from top and bottom. It gives it a good flavor. But I want to give it a little bit of oil first with the olive oil. So while I'm heating this up, I am also applying a little olive oil, and I put some into this little thumb dish, whatever these things are called. I don't know, I'm not a professional, I just love to cook. So this way it gives a little bit better coating to the actual sausages. And these Cuisinart grills are just absolutely incredible. They've gone through a few model changes. This one is probably last year's, and these are removable plates which let me actually clean this a lot easier. So I want to get like nice long thin strips of pepper into this. That's how I like my sausage and peppers. And these are also peppers I picked up at Sam's Club today. Yeah, I like Sam's Club. It's less crowded. They don't make you wait on, 14 hours of lines. You just get in, you get out, and you're done. The one thing I have with peppers is the number of seeds that will get into my food. So there will be an extra rinse at the end of this video. Yeah, I guess we'll just do the seeding part now. Well, anyway, I'm glad for you to join me. If you're watching live right now on Facebook, that's kind of awesome. It is dinner time, and I'm hungry, and I wanted to make something different tonight. I do enjoy Italian food, having been raised in New York. Italian food was just, that's what we ate. Everything was Italian food. I don't know how we were kosher at any point, because we ate a lot of Italian food. A lot of Italian food, and pizza, and lots of pizza. And pizza with all sorts of stuff on it, and pepperoni, and not exactly the most kosher meal on planet Earth, but it was damn good. Yes, and we have a studio audience today, but I'm not mentioning any names. You're going to hear somebody tittering in the background, and that's just part of my comedy today. So we're going to try to get this done. And I don't know if one of my classmates, Edward Blaze, is an actual professional chef. I've never aspired to be a professional. I just like this. This has been happening since COVID-19 and the pandemic. And what I wanted to do is just get all of this done. So let's start with the peppers. Peppers generally, if you just go at it with a dull knife, you're going to cut a finger. So I like to come in from this angle, cut that, and then I can cut the strips from here. Just very, very, very simply. It's not difficult. Again, cooking is just patience, tolerance, and texture and flavor. Putting the chicken sausages, these are Italian flavored chicken sausages, onto this griddle. And I don't know if you could see it perfectly in the video, so I'm going to move the camera in a second so you can see what this looks like. And here we have the sausages on the grill. This has been heated and coated with some olive oil. And this is a Cuisinart, as I've said. It's a really good product. I use this a lot for very different things, but this is my favorite thing to do is grill sausages indoors on it. Right now what I'm going to be doing is taking the garlic and prepping the garlic. I've already peeled this from cloves, from the bulb, and these are the cloves. And what I generally do for garlic, very simple. Smash it down, try to get one at a time in there. And then what I'll do is I'll cut off the ends and chop this up fine. I love the smell of garlic. It's just absolutely delicious. And I've seen this technique from other chefs on TV and other places that I just totally respect what they do. And I've learned a lot of different tricks from watching different shows. Galloping Gourmet, as I said, was my favorite in the beginning. Let me get some of these ends off. Maybe I should have cut those first, but no big deal. No biggie. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I always use the back of the knife to move stuff around on the cutting board. And you just rock it from the front of the blade. Keep your hand up here. Don't do this. I've seen people do some crazy stuff with knives and chopping and cutting. And what I want to do is just get the finely minced garlic. It's a rough chop. It's not, as I said, it's not French chef trained. I'm not Julia Child by any stretch of the word. So we're going to get that finely chopped up. And then we're going to start cooking over there in that pan. I'm going to bring the lights and the setup over that way so you can see what's happening. Stay tuned. Alrighty, I'm back again, and we're on this side of the kitchen. This is the first time I've done anything on this side of the kitchen. And what we're going to do now is just start the pan up for actually softening up the garlic, getting the flavors of the garlic, the onion, and the peppers going, and softening that up and getting that ready to mix up with the sausages that are on that end of the kitchen. So I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil, and I like these little brushes. This is from La Creuset or someplace like that. Just get a little bit of olive oil into the pan. I don't want to soak it in oil because then I don't like really oily sausage and peppers, but you need enough oil to actually start the softening up part of the, get the actual vegetables softened. So I'm going to dribble a little bit more in. There we go. Get the heat up on that. I like to start with a medium heat and wait for the oil to really heat up. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go right over there and I'm going to go over there and check on the sausages. Be right back. I'm going to be using a non-stick spatula to start the process. This is starting to get nice and hot. The water is boiling. I'm going to turn that down for a second because I don't want to put the penne in quite yet. And it's good to have that kind of, sometimes you just got to use your fingers. And I like to just get the garlic, just starting that flavor, that smell of garlic is just so, I love fresh garlic. I've missed cooking with this. And today I was in Sam's Club. I couldn't resist having some fresh garlic in tonight's meal. I was walking around going, what am I going to cook? I need to cook something, and I think I need a little bit more olive oil here because this is going to start to stick. I guess it's going to be a little oilier than I thought. And you just want it to not burn. You just want it to brown just a scooch. Then we're going to throw in the onions. It's going to make my eyes tear. Now somewhere I have a cover for this, and I think it's behind me underneath the cabinet, so I'll have to get that. And then what I do is I cover it and let the flavors meld for a good 5 to 10 minutes. So, all right, let's get this in. And I'm going to go back in a minute, and I probably have to do it off camera, but I'm going to be cutting up the sausages to go into this, because I want the sausage flavor to get in with the onions and the peppers and the garlic. I like the fact that there's this much color in the food, in the dish. I mean, it's just color, taste, texture, smell, all of that. I've got all of this sausage ready to go into the pan. And what I want to do is let this heat up and mix with the flavors before I add the tomato sauce to it. Now, if you were really daring, you could serve this over the pasta without the tomato sauce. Let's say you don't like tomatoes or you're allergic to tomatoes. What I would do at that point is use an olive oil sauce and use a little bit more garlic, maybe add a little bit of garlic powder to it. And if you like Parmigiano Reggiano, you can shave that over this dish. Now, you could also take this, if you've got a hoagie roll or hero roll or Italian bread. I'm from New York, it's called Italian bread, and that's real Italian bread. You could take this and put this into the Italian bread, and this is an absolute delicious meal. Right now, here's what I've got. I've got some fresh herbs that I'm just going to, well, not fresh, these are dried, but I'm going to make them taste fresh by rubbing them like this in my hands and sprinkling a little bit in. That's going to give it a little bit more kick because it was starting to smell a little bit bland. And I like a good set of flavors on mine. A little bit of an edge, a little bit more garlicky. I like garlic. This adds a slightly different not texture, but a slightly different flavor. It's a little bit of, bring out some other flavors. Smells delightful. Before you add the whole jar, I like to stir it up a little bit. Smelling so good. The peppers, the onions, the garlic, the chicken sausage is all in here with a little bit of the tomato sauce. I need a couple of pats of butter into it and stir that up. It gives the pasta a little bit more flavor before as a base before I put anything else onto it. So I have it on very, very low heat just so that I can dry out the pasta a little bit because there's still water that's going to remain in penne even if I've drained it. Welcome back. We're ready for the final assembly of the meal tonight. We've got the pasta mixed up with a little bit of butter. Now, of course, this depends on your appetite, but I like to give a good amount of pasta on the bottom of each dish. Yes, there are two dishes here. I have a studio audience this evening. We'll be taste testing this shortly. We're going to spoon that over the pasta. I want to make sure to get some of the color in there. I make that from, not scratch, I don't make the actual noodles, but I can make a really good dish. Tonight's meal is Italian flavored chicken sausage and peppers with onions over a penne pasta. a little bit of tomato sauce mixed in to give it some base. And there we have it. Italian sausage and peppers over penne pasta, gluten free. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's episode. Enjoy.